And we're live here on Facebook. I'd like to welcome those listening in podcast land. And also, I'd like to welcome my buddy Rich. Rich, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Mike. So, bit of a heat wave over here in the Quad Cities, which made for some long, hot work days out in the warehouse
Yeah, I can bet.
over the week. But we got through it. So, and we got some freezy pops
You got
during
some
the
other
work
people.
days.
You forgot to welcome our other people, by the way.
Yeah, I even forgot about it.
Oh, okay.
But welcome. But yeah, I was saying how I went.
Yeah.
But welcome to those watching us on the YouTube. Wherever you're watching us, make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I told you how my week was. I got through the heat wave. We're still gonna have some more. How was yours?
It's been good. It's been hot. Our baby got tubes in her ears this week, but we'll make it through. She's doing quite well. She actually barely complained about anything, so doing well.
That's good.
But it's been hot up here too. We moved to the basement for a few days because it was so hot, and then we're back upstairs for a few days, and then we're getting ready to move back down to the basement because it is going to be like 98 degrees on Monday.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be that hot for us as well, like in the 90s or upper 90s Monday,
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah,
Monday and Tuesday.
That's a terrible thing for life. I don't know. I mean, and I live in a place where it gets to negative like 50. So come on now. How do I have both 100 degrees and then when you add in the heat index with the humidity, it's going to be like 110 degrees. I got a guy going to Vegas, and it's going to feel cooler in Vegas on Monday than it's going to feel here on Monday at 98 degrees.
It's crazy, but that's life in the Midwest, though.
Their air temperature is going to be 105 degrees, and their feels like temperature is going to be 105 degrees. You know what our temperature is going to be? It's going to be 98, and it's going to feel like 110. Okay, I'm done with complaining about Midwest weather. By the way, have you ever heard me complain that it's too cold?
No, I don't think I ever have.
Right. So all you folks that are like, you'll never hear me complain about it's too cold. You'll hear me complain that it's too hot. You will never hear me complain that it's too cold. Give me the cold. Anyway.
That's because even when it's cold out, you're almost dressing like it's warm out, though.
When
Like
it's that
shorts,
cold, like
flip-flops.
even at negative 40 degrees, like I know I'm ridiculous, but at negative 40 degrees, even in my shorts and flip-flops, like you spend a minute and a half in the elements at most. And even in that time, I'm fairly comfortable in just a hoodie and shorts and a flip-flops. But that's me. I'm a little crazy. Kids, don't follow my advice. That's not what you're supposed to wear when it's that cold outside. That's dangerous. Don't be like me. Anyway,
All right.
we have a show for you today. I don't want to say a big show. There's a few topics that we're lacking on some stuff about, but we can talk about some stuff elsewhere. But we have the NASCAR corner and things to talk about with NASCAR changing for the rest of the season, which is it's that normal time of year where we change for the rest of the season, where we watch it and how to watch it. So there's that. And then we're going to talk golf this week. Rich, what else we got?
We'll be talking Cubs baseball like we always do, as well as the NBA and NHL playoffs update as we have a champion, as well as maybe talking a little bit about World Cup as they have announced the host cities for the 26 World Cup, which is coming to North America.
Yeah. All that and
Mike,
more.
Yes.
But Rich, what should we do?
Mike, let's go ahead and roll that intro.
Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa. This is Balls and Sticks, the podcast with your hosts, Mike and Rich. And we're back. Okay, Rich. So, as always, we're talking baseball, but before we get to talking baseball, let's get to talking softball. As we have a poll question this week. This week's musical poll question is, or last week's poll question is, talking softball by The Simpsons, center field. Wasn't that Fogerty?
Yeah, I think it was John Fogerty.
And then take me out to the ball game. As far as we're concerned, by Harry Carey. we understand it's not by Harry Carey, but folks, that's we give credit where credit's due. He's the one that burned it into our hearts. So, Rich, how did you vote?
I voted take me out to the ball game. Anywhere you go to a baseball game, minor leagues, all the way up to the majors, you get to hear that song at the game.
Yeah,
it may not be getting sung by somebody at the ballpark, other than the fans, as the kind of like the follow the bouncing ball type of deal. But it gets played at every stadium.
Yeah, and like your brother said this week on one of his Facebook Lives, as he covered the seventh inning stretch, even from the grave and on a video recording, nothing sounds as good as Harry Carey in Wrigley Field.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I voted for take me out to the ball game. And you know what? 85% of our votes were for take me out to the ball game. We had 12 votes for take me out to the ball game. We had 2 votes for center field. And we have 0 votes for talking softball.
All right. So, did you happen to listen to today's Cubs-Braves game?
I did, but I was in the middle of some calls and back and forth, so I did not get to hear the 7th inning stretch. Oh, wait, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I take that back. I did get to listen. But
yeah, I think that for the first time that I can ever remember, the guest conductor said, root, root, root for the home team.
Yeah, I don't...
Not Cubbies, not...
Yeah, that's...
Silent because maybe the Cubs aren't their team, or reaching the mic out to the crowd.
Yeah,
Home team. Never heard that on a Cubs guest conductor.
That seems crazy to me, but I 100% agree. I think that is something that I've never seen either. So...
I mean, he's the soccer coach for the men's national team.
Yep.
I mean, even if he said Team USA, something stupid, like something weird, because he's the soccer coach for the national team. But I don't think I've ever heard home team.
Yeah, it was weird. But he's a soccer guy. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
And we'll actually talk about him and some of what's coming up in the next few years later. But first, 85% for talking or take me out to the ball game. I said that was going to happen, by the way. 100% predicted, and that's nearly identical to what I thought it would be. But yeah. So this week's poll question, Rich, what is it? Give it to me.
All right, Mike, we're going to get it down to just one song that is specific to Chicago sports.
Okay.
So we're going to go with Go Cubs Go, Bear Down, and the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Okay. I like it. I think that this is going to be a much different... This one might get some split votes between 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And it might...
Okay.
That's going to be a rough one. We'll see how that one goes. But, yeah.
Exactly.
Look for
how it goes out.
Look for that to go live around noon tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll get it scheduled once we go off air.
Okay.
So, Mike, do you see what's coming up next?
Rich, could it perhaps be a turn in a leftward direction?
Yeah, it is. And what could be after that turn, Mike?
Might it be a right turn this week?
Because we're talking about a road course, it could be a right turn.
Are we heading into the NASCAR corner?
we are Mike, and the NASCAR Corner is presented as always by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Fifth Avenue in Moline, or you can also check them out on their eBay store, Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated. So, Mike, we were at Sonoma for the Toyota Save Mart 350.
Yeah.
Your pick of AJ Allmendinger finished 19th, which was higher than my pick of Martin Truex Jr., who finished 26th.
That's what I get for bragging on how good we've been all year, and then we both do fairly terribly. Both our guys are in the bottom half of the entire race. That was a rough race, but I mean, it happens. We're not perfect. Did you get to watch any of the race?
Yeah, I did watch the race. I thought I almost had it with Truex.
Yeah.
At least getting above Allmendinger for a good portion of the race, and then he's almost been struggling the entire year.
Yeah, he has.
With the next gen car to where
and just finishing in general.
Yeah, finishing.
I wonder if he needs to work on some conditioning. Like, I know these guys work out, and I know he's probably in way better condition than I am in general. But it seems like that's a problem that he's had. That some of his decision making, it seems to start falling off. I don't know.
There's talk. I mean, he's in his upper 30s now.
Yeah, something like that.
So there's talk that he could retire at the end of the year. So I mean, when they were talking about with the various articles.
Oh man, Rich, I was wrong.
What's that?
He is 41 years old.
Ooh, so he's over 40.
Yeah. So he's like 2 years older than you, Rich.
Only 2. Wow. Only 2.
June 29th, 1980. So, yeah. Either way, I don't know. Your race winner was?
Daniel Suarez getting his first career win, and in front of kind of like a home crowd as NASCAR brought in Daniel's Amigos, like a program that tries to expose Latino fans to the sport of NASCAR. So that was kind of neat. And did you see
first Hispanic driver to win a NASCAR race in the top tier?
Only the fourth, fifth, or sixth non-international driver to win a race as well.
Yeah, the first
NASCAR race.
It's So good on him. He's a good driver. He really is a good driver, and he's starting to figure out the NASCAR driving in a better way and making himself more competitive. He's part of the conversation every week. It was a matter of time. He reminds me a lot of, and not just because of them being minorities, but him and Bubba Wallace. They're both guys that are always being talked about, and they're always doing well. They spend a lot of time in the top half. They do have, when they're not in the top 10, they a lot of times have rough times, and they end their day in the bottom half, way in the bottom half. But in general, they keep improving, and it's great to see the sport diversify. Now, if we can get a good female driver, now our fans out there that watch NASCAR and were a fan and are a fan of Danica Patrick, admit to yourself that she was not a good driver. She was not a good driver, and get over it. We need a good female driver, and there are some. There's some coming up in the Xfinity and the ARCA series, and watch out. The old boys club is about to be shattered in big ways, and it's exciting. So, Rich, we were missing somebody in this race, though.
Yeah, Clint Boyer was not in the booth.
Yeah, what happened?
They all they said was that he was attending to a personal matter, and news broke this week, over the week, that while driving around in Missouri after the St. Louis race, he was involved in an auto accident where unfortunately a pedestrian was killed in the vehicle crash that he was in. The gal was walking on an off ramp, on some substances believed to be methamphetamine, and Boyer struck her, I guess. While yes, he was pronounced dead on the scene. I mean, Boyer did the right thing by hitting the brakes once he realized that he hit something, and he was the one that called 911 to get people to get her medical attention, and he had a .000 blood alcohol content. So,
man, it's
horrible that happened.
That in and of itself can tear a person apart. Like, when I was younger, and I still have images and memories of it. When we were young, one of my brother's best friends was hit by a car, and we were there before the police. We were there on the scene, basically before anybody. We didn't see it happen, but we were pretty close. The kid was crossing John Deere Road and got hit by a car after baseball practice, and that sticks with me today. And I had the only thing I didn't know the kid that well. I mean, I know the kid's name, and it's not that big of a deal, but we, like, legitimately, I still remember sitting in the car while my mom is like, no, you guys can't come out of the car, and that's just, that will stick with him. I hope that he is exonerated from any culpability in this, but I also think that he's responsible for his actions, and if it comes out that he was doing something inappropriate, which at this time it doesn't appear that he was, but yeah, that's going to be rough no matter what happened. So
yeah, more to come. I mean, nothing Fox is, as far as from what I'm reading from the CBS Sports website that I originally found the story. It doesn't look like Fox is saying that they're looking into the matter, and they're not. Yeah. They're not saying that they're going to be discipline. There's going to be any discipline, but it's until you know more.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that there isn't like a rush to judgment saying, well, we're going to have to let you go, or kind of stay low.
Yeah.
Stay low until this blows out, until everything's worked out.
I hope that kind of mentality kind of plays into another topic that just plagues the NFL, and that's the Deshaun Watson case.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is trying to play it that way of, until we have all of the facts and until we do all this stuff. Either way, I think it's wrong, and I think they're going to take a PR hit for it. But no, I think Fox is doing the right thing. I think Boyer did the right thing. I think that it's one of those terrible tragedies, and I don't think it's going to come out that anything wrong happened there. But Rich, you didn't put anything on the outline about me predicting a race this week. What happened?
Predicting a race? What do you mean?
Well, why aren't we talking about this week's race?
Well, there is no race this week, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Oddly enough, I guess the NASCAR schedule makers decided to have the boys race on Easter, so they get Father's Day off instead.
I mean, there's something to be said that 80% of the guys in NASCAR are fathers, so, whatever. Okay, so in 2 weeks, we're going to have so next week we'll have a race.
Yes.
And you can watch it on Fox, like always, right?
No. You got to switch over to NBC and the USA Network.
Okay.
So I believe Nashville will be on NBC, and then about three quarters and 80% of the rest of the races that NBC is paying to cover are going to be on their USA network, which they own.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult for you and me and my folks to all watch at the same time. Wink, wink.
Oh, really? Oh, right. That's right. So many people could be on the sling.
Yeah. Only so many of us. Okay. So yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about that with the Ally 400 at Nashville next week. Rich, let's keep making left turns as we head out of the NASCAR Corner, presented by Triple I Sports Cards Incorporated, Moline, Illinois, on 5th Avenue. Check them out for all your sports memorabilia needs, in person or on their eBay store. Let's do a quick hit on this MLB thing because the Cubs did what the Cubs do. It is the June swoon. They won one game this week. Are you surprised?
One game. I kind of am surprised. Normally, I mean, they had a 4-game set with the Padres. I would have thought, because normally when you see a team 4 straight days, you can at least expect to get one of those games.
Yeah, especially when they're all at home.
Yeah. So, I mean, I said 2 wins, so I thought, all right, they can at least get one out of the Padres.
Yeah.
And I thought that they would get one out of either the Braves or the Yankees.
Yeah, not a bad guess. I knew it wasn't going to happen, but I hoped. They've been surprising us all year. But
that's all you have with this team is hope.
So the Cubs have had they finished a 10-game losing streak today by beating the team on a 14-day winning streak. So the team with the longest active losing streak beat the team with the longest active winning streak. Why, Rich? Why? Because of baseball.
Because baseball.
That's why. Baseball. You're gonna win. You're gonna win some. You're gonna lose some. And sometimes the best team in the league will lose to the worst team in the league. It's just gonna happen. So, speaking of, the Cubs have two more against the Braves. One tomorrow, one Sunday. 4 against the Pirates, and 1 against the Cardinals. The Pirates and the Cardinals are in Pittsburgh and St. Louis. Rich, of those 7 games, how many can they win?
I'm going to give them 2.
Okay.
They kept it close against the Braves, but you're getting to the back end of the rotation. I think you get a Kyle Hendricks start somewhere in there, but the professor is well, I don't know where he's teaching his classes, but I don't think he's teaching at the Ivy League anymore.
He is.
He just hasn't been the same in the last couple of years.
He's also getting a little long in the tooth.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Okay, I'm going to go with 3 this week because baseball. Okay, let's leave the diamond because there's not really other news to talk about other than the fact.
There was one other thing.
Oh, okay.
One other thing I just remembered though. First time in history, a team threw two immaculate innings in the same ball game.
Wow.
The Houston Astros did it.
You did that on purpose, Rich.
I didn't.
You did that on purpose.
It happened.
I hate them.
Houston. I know you don't like Houston, but it happened. First time, I was surprised to see that had never happened before.
I mean, an immaculate inning is so hard to do anyway. So, okay, let's move on for baseball because that's it. So, Rich, let's get into the controversy of the last week and a half. Let's talk some golf. More specifically, the Saudi-run LIV Golf Tour. LIV is actually the Roman numerals for 54, by the way. Did you know that?
I did not.
And being that it is 54, how many holes of golf do you think they play at one of these tournaments?
Do they play 54, Mike?
They play 54, Rich. How about that? Their goal is to start with 54 players on. I think they want. No, it's not 54. They do pairings. So they would only be doing 36. Unless they move up to 3, and then it'd be 54. That could be interesting. Who knows? But in general, man, I don't know. It's rough. It really does get rough. So for those of you that don't know, Rich, can you give the people a bit of an idea of what the LIV Golf Tour is?
It is basically turned into a rival golf tour in direct competition for players with the PGA tournament.
Yeah.
So tournaments could be going on at the same time, different cities, obviously. And basically, but this league, like you said, is being financially backed by the Saudi government.
Yeah. On top of that, the Saudis, and when we say it's backed, they are paying players just to be a part of it. It's not about you get to golf and you get to do all that stuff, and that it is the fact that they are. I have no. Honestly, I don't think it's that controversial. You're going to get paid. Get paid. Do what you want. I'm okay with that. But a lot of people have a problem with it because the history of the Saudis and the way that they run things and some of the human atrocities they've partaken in and some of the terrorist organizations they've funded. And there's been a lot of terribleness there. But they've decided that golfers deserve to be paid just to show up at their events. So they are offering $100 million contracts for 4 years on this tournament.
Yeah. More specifically, Mike, an individual winner gets $4 million. Members of the winning team sharing a $3 million purse, which is far more than a PGA Tour event, and even a last place finish still gets you $120,000.
But
PGA Tour players that don't make the cut at those rounds, after 2 rounds, get nothing.
There is no cut. That's another difference. They also do a shotgun start, which is also fun because that means everybody starts at the same time. Kind of fun there. I'm okay with that. Some of the other sides of it though, and again, they are paying players. You actually make more just to show up at the event than you do to win the event. Most of the players are making enough that winning the event, it's a little bonus, but it's not a huge dollar. It's not as much as what your contract is going to be for. So Pastor David Hovinga is on here, and he says that he likes this conversation. He thinks it looks like a fun tour. I agree. I think it looks fun. I'm happy that these guys are getting paid, but we also have to think about some of the who they're playing for. Now, do we judge? Is it Chelsea, the soccer team that the Saudis bought? They bought one of the British Premier League teams, and
I don't know that one.
So you gotta.
Well, yeah, I mean, overall, these golfers are going to be getting paid more than if they had stayed on the tour, and they still get to play. From what I'm reading, they still get to play in the major events that give the huge payouts and get the big media coverage through the tournament. They could play in the U.S. Open, the Masters. And if I'm wrong, feel free to put something in the comments section to let me know.
So we don't know yet. We actually don't know if they're going to be able to do that yet. So we really don't know whether or not they're going to be allowed to do that. I'm still trying to see if I can find the Premier League team. I can't find it. Oh, yeah, Newcastle United was purchased by a Saudi-based consortium. There's apparently there, so yeah, it's not unusual for some of these lesser good or people that aren't great about it to do that. But David makes a few more points real quick. He's guessing that the LIV tournament will not put a rainbow flag as they won't celebrate Pride Month, which would follow suit with their bans on homosexuality in any expression. They're probably going to not be willing to allow certain things to be involved in that, which is, that's fine. But the teams themselves, but the golf itself, it's going to be good golf. They've gotten good golfers, but it has made a divide in some of the golfers themselves, as some of the guys that are staying on the PGA Tour have said that they're taking that it's a shame and that it's a terrible thing, and that it's money over human rights and stuff like that they're saying. And then on top of it, you have people like Bob Costas out there saying that these players are being paid in blood money. I would disagree. I would say they're being paid in oil money. But I don't think. Yeah, I get paid. Why is it unacceptable for these guys to go do this, but yet if they were being paid, but when a major league player decides he doesn't want to play for the Cubs because they're not willing to pay him $180 million a year, or $180 million over 3 years, and yet they go over to the Yankees that have a checkbook that apparently is connected to the Saudis somehow. I'm guessing only because there's a bottomless pit of money in the Yankees organization. Why is it okay for that? But because these guys, because of where the money's coming from? I'm sorry. Man, that's a rough one there. I don't 100% agree with some of the backlash on it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd almost have to agree with you, Mike. I mean, you may not like where the money's coming from, but I mean, the whole point of this, I guess, the LIV Golf tournament here is, I mean, the Saudi government is using it as almost like a PR machine to get good publicity for them to come out of this, and that's why they're investing so much money into it. So, I mean, if anything, maybe play a couple of years on there and try to get your tournament card back after you've made a lot of money. Spend a couple of years on the tour and see what happens. So you're still going to get to play in some good tournaments. You're going to be going up against good competition. Good competition as well.
Yeah. Do what you do. Yeah. It looks like it's going to be a fun tournament set up. They only play eight tournaments a year as of right now, and I'm okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Go ahead.
Unfortunately, if you're a golf fan, and maybe you're a fan of one of the players that's defected over to this rival league, you're not going to be able to see him on TV.
Well,
your first event was only available to stream, I guess, for free on services like the LIV Golf.
Well, you could watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, or I think some other streaming service had it.
I mean, it's on
So
YouTube. Anybody can get. Well, not anybody. Chinese people can't get YouTube. But yeah, I'm good with it. So, okay. Where do you want to go next, Rich? How about we have an NBA Finals winner, both you and I projected. The Golden State Warriors. You're wrong. It was 2. It's 4-2. It was 4-2. That was Game 6, Rich.
But my bad. That just goes to show I just don't follow the NBA.
Yeah.
My bad. They won 4-2. Seth Curry, four rings in 8 years, and between playing and coaching, Steve Kerr's up to 9.
Okay, so I got in a debate about the question you have there. Now,
where's this put Steph Curry all time?
That's a great question. First, I don't think any. So, the debate that I got in, and I didn't even say he was the greatest of all time. I didn't even say he was top 5. I didn't say that. But a buddy of mine basically said that Steph Curry, he's sick of hearing people say that he's great and he's awesome. He only has 4 rings. MJ has 6, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, by that definition, Bill Russell has 11. Does that mean that he's that much better than Michael Jordan? No. Just because you can't beat the GOAT in a one-on-one match does not mean that that you're not a great player. Rich, do you think it doesn't matter? Like, Steph Curry deserves to be in the top. He's one of those he's edging into that top 10 spot.
Yeah, that's where I think I kind of have him. He's getting up there to be top 10.
Who do you take out of the top 10 though?
I don't know if I have a clear top 10 in my head. But maybe that's something we table and talk about next week. Come up with a top 10.
Top 10 NBA players. We're gonna do that.
Not necessarily positions.
Nope.
It's a positionless.
The league's gone positionless already.
Let's do this. Let's take it one more. 12. An NBA's active roster is 12 people.
No, you got to do 10.
12.
Okay, we could do 12. That's a good point.
Does he make your all NBA team?
Okay. I mean, Steph Curry definitely makes the all NBA team. All-time all NBA team, 100% he makes it. Steph Curry does. Who else is on that list? Check back next week and we'll let you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think no matter, for our generation at least, because we saw Mike win. We saw Mike play before he won.
Yep.
Before he won in the 90s.
We saw him get the crap beat out of him. We saw a team just mug him on the floor and violently abuse him. Can't trust those Michiganders.
Yeah. So I think no matter what happens, as long as this generation still, that question comes up of who's the greatest NBA player of all time, our answer will always be Michael Jordan. No matter I think who comes after him, no matter what player accomplishes within their NBA career, it's going to always be Michael Jordan for us.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I mean, so we've told you who the top of our all-time NBA team is, and we told you at least one other player. Check back for the other 10 and their positions, or like their rankings, or no rankings.
I think we'd almost have to rank them.
Okay.
Go top 12.
Top 12.
Find out which players are going to be on our All NBA 12-man list. Who's going to make our 12-man roster?
Yeah. And in what ranking?
Yeah, and in what order?
So, other things to think about. Steph Curry finally got his MVP. By the way, any year that that team has won the finals, he should have gotten the MVP. You may be able to argue the AD years, but not really. It's been Steph the whole time. So, okay, Rich, did you watch any game, any part of any game?
No, I did not. Even with it being on ABC, I'm not a big basketball fan. It's just the wife and I have just decided to watch other things, whether it be a movie or Netflix, just to have something on in the background.
So you will put on a random show on Netflix before you put on basketball for background noise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame you. I normally would. I actually ended up watching the final game.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It's.
One thing for me that hurts it is that 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, when I'm starting to wind down and kind of going through the routine to get ready for bed. What quarter is it in, Mike? Middle of the third quarter. So
sometimes middle of the second. We were. Danielle's like, okay, I'm gonna go shower and get ready for bed. I'm like, okay, and it's like 8 o'clock, and it just finished we just got to halftime.
Yeah, all because they want
8:30, 9 o'clock
on the East Coast. Imagine being in the Eastern time zone. That game starts at 8 o'clock p.m.
Yeah,
at least for us, it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's two problems. One, they stopped doing weekend games. They basically don't have weekend games. They don't compete Saturday. They don't. They did their last two games are scheduled for a Thursday and a Sunday. A Thursday and a Sunday. You're gonna put like your final definitive games.
Because Thursday is the new Friday for some people.
Well, give me a 4-day work week. If I got a 4-day work week, sure.
So I don't know.
So what happened in our house?
If they don't want to play a game on Friday or Saturday, that tells me that they don't want to compete with the weekend. That people may or may not want to go into the bars or give up their Friday or Saturday night plans to sit in front of the TV and watch basketball.
It's crazy. Speaking of playoffs, and something you probably won't watch, Stanley Cup playoffs started this week. Rich mispredicted that the game started tomorrow night. Game 2 is tomorrow night. Rich and I did discuss before the puck dropped on Wednesday night's game. I sent him a text. I said, Rich, who you taking? I let Rich pick. Because I'm a nice guy like that. Rich, who'd you pick?
I went with the Avalanche. Before the playoffs started, I predicted they'd win the finals. They made it to the finals. So I couldn't pick against them. The Lightning will be going for 3 straight Stanley Cups, though.
Yeah, that three-peat. Oh man, I like the Lightning. I'm happy that you gave me the Lightning. That was a blessing, I think. I'm thinking, what's a good place to go for dinner on 4th of July weekend? Or maybe we'll wait until Sweet Corn Days.
We come up in August. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
I mean, but here's the thing with the Lightning, though.
Yeah.
How many games do you think it took them? Because I was listening to on the drive home. They were talking Stanley Cup Finals on ESPN radio. How many games do you think it took the Avalanche to make it to the finals?
The Avalanche they swept 2 of the series, if I remember correctly, so that's 8. And then the other series, they only needed to win 3. I think they won it in 4. So 12 games?
They said on there it only took them 15 games.
Okay.
get there. So they got fresh legs.
Yeah, I
fresh
mean,
legs, and that's going to come in handy.
that will definitely come in handy. But the Lightning are a great team, as they've proved the last 2 years. And Tampa Bay apparently is a hockey town, so check it out.
All right. So, Mike, let's go to our quick hits.
Yep.
The Belmont Stakes. Your pick of We the People. I put did not finish because I guess if you don't finish fourth, if you finish fifth or worse, it's hard finding anywhere on what the actual finish where it was. So I put did not place. My pick of Mo Dongle finished first and won the Belmont Stakes. So I finally got a horse that could win the race.
Yeah.
After coming up with, getting with a late scratch in the Kentucky Derby and a.
Well, Rich, no.
Did you find somewhere?
Yeah, We the People finished fourth.
Fourth, okay.
So, there you go.
I stand corrected. So fourth.
Yeah, I mean it still did not place, but you are not wrong that he did not place, but he was fourth. Fifth was Creative Mister. Rich Stakes, the winner of the Kentucky Derby, finished sixth. So, anyway.
All right. And the other quick hit that we got a little bit to discuss, maybe I don't know how much we'll talk about it, but the World Cup FIFA announced where the host cities, where the games will take place when the World Cup comes to North America in 2026.
I'm a little I think Mexico and I think Canada should have gotten way more than they did. The U.S. gets 11 venues. Chicago and Kansas City being two of them.
Chicago did not make the
list.
I thought
Chicago did.
No, they're going to play in New Jersey at MetLife.
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas at Jerry World. They chose the San Francisco Bay Area at Levi's Stadium. Miami for Hard Rock. Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. Lumen Field in Seattle. NRG Stadium in Houston. The Link in Philly and Arrowhead, and then Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
In the Boston area, and then 3 places in Mexico hitting Monterrey, Guadalajara, and Mexico City, and then over up in Toronto, Canada, they're going to see games in Toronto, Vancouver, and Edmonton.
I don't have Edmonton on mine.
I could have swore they said Edmonton, but I think one of them had to pull out. Though it said Vancouver when it got in. I think it was.
Yeah, Vancouver's in Edmonton.
Stadiums that missed the cut: Baltimore, M&T Stadium in Baltimore, Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Cincinnati, Nashville, Denver, and Edmonton.
Yeah,
were passed over. So
and Chicago.
In Chicago, I was kind of surprised with Chicago because they kind of wanted to spread the tournament out across North America, and I didn't Chicago host some of the games for one of the World Cups.
They have, and they have
it was here.
Plenty of practice facilities, and they have plenty of stuff. But I don't know. Going to Kansas City might be fun to see a game. I don't know. The World Cup doesn't excite me.
No, it really doesn't excite me either. Maybe my opinion will change of it when it gets close to the 26th. So they haven't announced which cities are going to get the finals. I think I've read that finals will be in the U.S.
By the way, for all those that are upset that about the LIV Tour, are you also upset that they're going to Dubai this year for the World Cup? I mean, that's where the World Cup is. And are the same people upset that they're going to the World Cup's there as it is as they are about the LIV Tour? No. Pointing that out there.
Mm-hmm. That's a valid point.
So, either way, soccer is the 10th sport in America. In the United States of America. We have football, college football, basketball, college basketball, hockey, women's basketball, baseball, college baseball, Little League. I'd watch all of those before I'd watch soccer. It's not like, yes, it is a growing sport in America. Yes, I'm happy that it's a growing sport. Yes, I think it's a great sport. Golf.
That's just not your cup of tea.
Golf does better in America than soccer. Like, I think Mexico has hugely deserves it. Why are they not using some of the Central American countries?
Because it was a North American bid.
Okay.
Unified bid. Could they have given Mexico City or
definitely
Canada
Mexico City.
One more. Mexico
Edmonton probably should have gotten one.
But it's all. I mean, it's not necessarily about the city. It's about the venue. Do they want to either upgrade a venue that's already there to get up to a good capacity to meet a minimum requirement, or are they going to put money into it and build a venue from scratch for this event?
Here's my problem for it, though. America, the United States of America, they don't need to put extra money into a lot of these stadiums because they're already top-notch stadiums and blah, blah, blah. I get it. I'm not... That part of it is... I understand and I get it and I can go behind it. But we don't need the tourist dollars of the world coming to our shores to see it. Yes, we have the places to do it. Yes, we have the facilities. Yes, they sit empty in the middle of the summer because they're football stadiums that nobody uses except for the winter months. I get it. It's good. It's a good use of it. I'm okay with that. But at the same time, is there a reason why the U.S. gets 11? And I'm sure we could have thrown, like, let's send some humanitarian aid to Mexico and build another soccer stadium. Canada could have made Edmonton decent enough. They have enough of those CFL stadiums that wouldn't take that much extra to get to a World Cup venue.
Which is what they're doing in Toronto, as they are expanding the seating in the stadium that the Toronto MLS club and the CFL team play in.
Okay. Well, Rich.
But that's that. So I'm sure there's more to talk about. I don't know how.
We don't have soccer experts on the show.
We don't.
So yeah, without hockey expert or soccer experts on the show, that's about all we're going to talk about on it. The U.S. men's team looks like they might be decent by then, hopefully. So. Anyway, Rich, any final thoughts on the week in sports?
Not really.
Okay. You want to give a shout out?
Yeah, it's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to my dad Mark, as well as my father-in-law Ron, and also to you, Mike, as a proud papa of
my little girl,
your baby girl.
Yeah. I'd like to wish a happy Father's Day to my dad. What a great example he's been in my life to make me. Hopefully, I can be half as good of a dad as he has been to me. And then I'd like to also give a shout out to my father-in-law, Tony Phillips. Thank you for allowing me to marry your daughter, and which in turn has made me a father now. So it's great to have such men of that chase after God, and as role models in that. So shout out to all the daddies out there. And yeah, with that being said, Rich, shall we roll the outro? Broadcasting live from somewhere in Iowa, this is Balls and Sticks, the podcast, with your hosts, Mike and Rich.